You are now entering Nyghtstorm Nation.
All I have to say is this.
Child abuse.
If you are one of those people
Divorce.
that have been put down all of your life,
Infidelity.
beat up and trapped in a pit of woe,
Depression.
it is time for you to stand up with the Nyghtstorm Nation, because we aren't going anywhere.
I'm YG Nyghtstorm, the man not afraid to be transparent, as I help real people with real issues. And my co-host is my queen, my stunningly gorgeous wife. Come on, baby.
Good morning. Happy New Year. This is Toby George Nyghtstorm, the woman not afraid to tell the truth as things are. And you are now entering Nyghtstorm Radio. Hello, Nyghtstorm Nation. Oh my God, I missed you guys so much. This was the longest 2 weeks ever.
I know, right? And yeah, Happy New Year from me also. And to all the Nyghtstorm Nation members out there, please feel free to call in at 1-866-923-2860. And you can also find out more about us, the Nyghtstorms, at Nyghtstorm.com. That's NYGHTSTORM.com. And you can also listen to our show on the Talk Radio page as well on Nyghtstorm.com, and also right here on Love 860 AM, baby.
That is right. And I know all of that holiday turkey and ham and everything went to your head, and you may have forgot that you can listen to us on your smartphone. Don't use the excuse of, oh, well, I'm not by the computer. Oh, I'm not in the car by a radio. You have your phone, don't you? Pull that bad boy out. Go to your app store. Download iHeartRadio, iTunes Radio, iRadionow. Go to the Talk Radio section. Go to WAECLove860.com and take us with you every Thursday from 11 to noon. We want to be your new best friend, your New Year's resolution. How about that?
New Year's resolution, celebrating with the Nyghtstorms, what I tell you.
Exactly. And if you are by your computer, you can go to love860.com, click on the Watch Now or Watch Live part and the banners that scroll by, and you can see us right. Hi.
Hello.
Did you miss us?
Hello.
We're right here looking right at your face, and you can look at ours. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, and sweetheart, there's a lot going on in the world today, and I first want to send our condolences to the folks out in Paris who are in France dealing with that awful terroristic tragedy earlier this week. And our condolences and prayers go out to you. And it's just even more apparent that there's just so much going on in the world. That's why we are thankful for every single day that we are here. And that's why I'm thankful for you, even though you got on my nerves this morning.
I sure did.
Nyghtstorm Nation.
I did it on purpose.
My wife got on me because I dared, after 2 weeks of being good and eating right, and being in the gym and drinking tons and tons of water, I dared to go to Waffle House and eat me a patty melt. Oh, my God.
You sure did. We made a New Year's resolution, doggone it.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
we're going to eat better and cleaner and healthier, because your exercise is a two-part thing, with your health is also a part of your diet.
But baby,
and I'm going to call you. I'm
2
sorry.
freaking weeks.
I love you so much that I'm going to call you out on your
You
patty
calling
melt
me
and
out
hash
2
brown.
weeks?
Yes, I am.
Over 600 calories.
Yes, because of the fat content and the salt and everything. Because I love you, babe, and I want you to get on my nerves, and I want to get on your nerves for another 20, 30 years. However long I can just stand on that nerve right there.
Waffle House, I love y'all.
Before we really get into this, I want to mention this show is being sponsored today by Embodiment by Yabi. Embodiment by Yabi is a salon that's having their grand opening next month on the Holcomb Bridge Road. And they want us to let everybody know that they are hiring. So stylists, if you have your degree, your license rather, your licensed stylist, your braiders, your people who are good with these extensions, these sew-ins, your massage therapists, your makeup artists, your nail technicians, they are looking to fill all of those positions, and they ask that everyone go to their website. That's Embodiment, EMBODIMENT by Yabi, YAH as in Harry, B as in boy, Y.com. Check out who they are, what they do. Go to the contact page and submit your resume or information. Let them know that you got your scissors ready and your color ready, or you got your massage table ready, or you know how to just throw down on some nails, and let them know that you will be part of their lovely staff.
That's right.
Come February 3rd. They are looking to fill these positions.
It ain't nothing wrong with getting paid to make people feel beautiful, gorgeous, and appreciated. So
exactly. So once again, embodiment by Yabi.
By Yabi.
YAHBY.
All right. So what we doing today, baby?
All right. Today we're going to be talking about when your man loves your womanhood and femininity.
Really?
What a way to kick off the year.
Well, how about when your woman don't mind you going to Waffle House every 2 weeks and eating the doggone patty melt with some hash browns?
I'm just looking out for your
No, the hash browns wasn't scattered, smothered, covered, caked, and all that good stuff that I normally get. But I ate them naked.
But you know what? I
ate naked hash browns.
But the thing is, you can do that on Saturday. See, now, Nyghtstorm Nation, he can cheat on Saturday.
Saturday ain't
From
here.
the time he wakes up.
I was hungry Thursday
morning,
chick. I was hungry.
You're only 48 hours away.
I'm 41 years old. I'm a grown man. And
happy belated birthday. Nyghtstorm Nation,
yes.
You missed his birthday.
Yes.
It just passed, maybe 5 days ago. So happy birthday, YG.
Thank you, baby.
Oh, and one more thing.
What?
It's our anniversary. We have been on Love860.com, AM, WAEC, on your phone, in your ear, in your face for 1 year now.
Yeah.
Woo! That's right. So thank you. We have so much enjoyed this. But let's get on into this topic.
All right. Now, Nyghtstorm Nation knows we always start the show off with from letters from husbands and wives or people in a relationship called How Can I Change My Mate? And dealing with this topic of when your man loves your womanhood and femininity, we had 2 fantastic letters from a couple. So, sweetheart, can I get started with this?
Okay.
Okay, from the wife, it says, Dear Nyghtstorms, I honestly feel that I was born in the wrong century. I cannot say that I agree with all of this extreme feminism I see on TV and in the media. I have been a mother and a homemaker for 20 years, and I am happy with that. What angers me is when I see these so-called independent women have nasty attitudes as they feel like they are above everybody else and see men as nothing but low-life pigs that need to be neutered. I love my husband, and I appreciate him taking care of me and our children, and I believe if these women found the right guy, they would settle down, start a family, and shut up. Their ambition to rule the world makes all of us good women look bad. Woo!
Wow.
Woo! That's from the wife.
Okay, let's see what the husband had to say.
Woo!
He said, my wife is the sweetest woman in the world, and I call her my queen like YG does with Toby. But I feel that there is something missing in her life. Her mother and grandmother were very traditional and aggressively put her down when she was a kid every time she thought about pursuing her dream to own a boutique shop for uptown women. They told her that a woman's place is at home and nothing more. My wife has sacrificed everything for our family, and I think it's time for her to spread her wings and go after her desires. I'm willing to put up the necessary capital to launch her business, and I would be proud to see her and her business for a change. Hold on, I read that wrong. Let me see this again.
See, if you would have let me eat that Waffle House,
I would be proud to see her be her own boss for a change. Okay, so that makes better sense. Sorry about that, Nyghtstorm Nation. I just don't know what to say to motivate her and show her just how powerful she truly is.
Now, that sounds like an appreciative husband.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we get a lot of these type of letters. But the one thing that fascinates me is that he loves her womanhood. And he don't see nothing wrong with her, and especially her femininity, about her idea of femininity, of being at home, being a traditional wife, being the homemaker, taking care of the children, and creating pretty much a castle at home for her husband. Okay, that's her idea of womanhood and her femininity. But what he is also saying
is that she can have it both.
Yeah, she can have it both. He sees something in his wife that is powerful, okay, because obviously maybe she put up with him for all of these years.
Right.
Maybe she's raised, their children for all of these years, and we know about the issues about raising kids, especially become teenagers and young adults, and they get on your nerves.
Exactly.
But she's gone through all of that, and he is saying, baby, I know what your mother and your grandmother have told you and put you down and said a woman's place is only to be at home. But baby, I see your place is having your own business, you being your own boss for a change, you following your desires and dreams, and I'm willing to put up the money to make it happen.
I understand that. And, that also comes to the point of she was raised from childhood, infancy, with one message. So it's going to be kind of hard for her to shake that. Or maybe it goes deeper than that. Maybe she doesn't feel that she has the ability to do that. So that has to do with self-esteem and them communicating more and her realizing that she can do it. Or maybe she's just content and happy in her place, as she said, with what, she has chose as the wifely role.
But baby, I don't see content and happy when I'm reading her letter, because she is spitting some serious venom.
No, I'm saying she's happy. She's content in her space is what I'm saying as far as being a housewife. That's
okay,
what I mean.
But what I'm seeing is a little bit deeper, okay? Because anytime people start spitting venom at other folks and being angry, there's something there, okay? Maybe she has become so content in her position that she feels this is what the world wants me to conform to, or what past generations have told me that I just need to be here. But maybe, and I don't know, I'm not a psychic, but maybe one reason why she's so angry is because she's seeing other women actively go out and pursue their passions and their dreams. And maybe she may have a little bitterness because she has been told, programmed, and forced all of her life to be a certain way. And her husband is like, something, I'm kind of tired of sick of seeing this.
But in her letter,
and you need to come on, baby.
In her letter, though, she said what angers her are the attitudes and the nastiness of the so-called independent women. I'm going to take it back to her letter.
Okay.
Who attack men, to degrade them, who see them as nothing but low-life pigs that need to be neutered.
I'm not swine.
So she's, no.
I'm not swine.
No, because then they'll have you up at Waffle House. I'm just joking.
Why they got bacon on that patty milk?
But seriously, what she's saying is, she doesn't like the attitude.
Right.
It's one thing you be an independent lady and you make your own money and no one can hold it over your head what they do for you.
Right.
But, then she feels they're crossing the line because they want to downgrade men. And if they found the right guy who treated them right and, treat them like a queen, as the husband said he does with her, then they would stop all the nonsense.
I get it. I mean, it's been some ladies groups that you have been a part of in the past that were, very, very positive, and powerful for women to be a part of. But then when I show up, all of a sudden it's like, oh, YG holding you back. You don't need no husband. You don't need no man. Kick him to the curb, girl. I'm like, wait a minute. Why she got to kick me to the curb? It's being empowered and having a husband, and I'm like, I ain't do nothing to y'all.
They felt you were too needy and you were holding me back from what I need to do because you were always around.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
But then if I wasn't around, he always out in the street. He probably out here with somebody else. You don't need him. So you don't need a man who, and I'm going to say on point, yes, I need my queen. I need her in my life. I love the fact that I need her in my life. If I didn't need her in my life, then I would not have married her. I desire for her to be there. You have a powerful purpose in my life. Because you are my life. And there's nothing wrong with couples saying, I need my spouse. Because every spouse wants to be needed. If you don't need somebody, then why they there?
Right.
Okay, and these ladies, they didn't have nobody. Okay, so they're saying, well, he was too needy and he was always around you. Well, some of my friends say you always around me.
Well, yeah, we're Velcro. But see, here's the thing.
Yeah, they were like, dude.
But that's the reciprocity. You have to recognize why this person is here. It goes more than the physical.
Yeah.
It starts getting into the friendship part and what does that each person bring to the table.
Yeah, because you're my best friend.
And you are mine. Probably because we're around each other so much that can't nobody else get in.
I know, right?
So what's the solution here, YG?
Okay, well, I see it like this. For one, she has a supportive husband,
right?
Okay, which unfortunately a lot of women do not have, okay? Because a lot of men are also stuck in that old traditional 20th century view, okay? Early 20th century view, okay? But what she has here is that I want to talk to the wife specifically. Ma'am, I appreciate the fact that you wrote in, and I understand the anger that you feel with some of the radical feminism, okay, because some of it is crazy out here. But I want to say I'm sorry for the fact that your mom and your grandmother told you to be limited on what your abilities are, told you that your only place is to be what you are. Now, obviously, the fact that you are what you are as a homemaker and a housewife, obviously you have done a spectacular job at what you're doing because your husband raves over you. Your husband is raving over you so much, girl, that he says, you know something, with your management skills of this house and being able to make this house and this family a success, how about let's take a risk? Let's take a chance and make your dream a reality, and let's open up this boutique for uptown women. And if you've been able to make my life and our home a success, I ultimately believe that you can make this a success. I believe it so much, I'm willing to put my money behind it.
Well, there's nothing like a supportive king. And I tell you that because, ladies, the queens out there, you can't be a queen in a relationship, rather, without a king to support you and lift you up. I say it all the time. And also to the husband, bravo and kudos to you for being that supportive husband that's uplifting your wife and making sure that she has somebody that she can fall back on. Because, you know, as business owners, it's hard out there.
It's hard, man.
And you need that support. You need somebody to say, you know what? This might not have been the best day, but there's always tomorrow, and we can do this better. As far as to the wife, I understand also what she's saying. That when you look at images on television, you see the neck rolling, and you see that I don't need no man to do nothing for me. I can do this on my own. I can do bad by myself. I can do and I understand that he ain't whatever. Well, I need you for to the left and all this other stuff. I understand the images that she's seeing and what she's speaking about, but there are also a flip side. People like myself who are strong, independent women who can also go home, be a wife, and, you know, be a mom and be supportive, stand beside my husband, not behind him, not in front of him, beside me, and handle my business and the people that, you know, work for us and who knows that I'm the boss, knows that I'm the boss. So it's a way to balance everything.
You so powerful, girl. You make me feel guilty for eating a freaking patty melt every 2 weeks. That's how powerful you are. And you know, so I'm going to go a whole month next time I'm going to push it another 2 weeks without eating a patty melt just to make you happy.
But see, I don't want you to do that. So you got to have that.
Too late.
You got to have that.
I guess this is the form.
You can have your patty melt on Saturdays.
I can have my patty melt on Saturdays.
On Saturdays.
But this is what I'm trying to say. This is my way of appreciating and loving the woman and your womanhood and your femininity, because you are a very powerful, outspoken woman that believes in what she believes and also achieves in what she wants to achieve. That, my dear, is powerful and deserves to be honored and respected. And you also return the favor to me. So I would like to say, yes, husband, continue to love your wife's womanhood and femininity and continue to push and work on her so she can broaden her horizon, because I think that business would be a successful endeavor for them both. Because
you don't know what you don't know. And maybe, you know, it could be one of those situations where I didn't know that I needed to do this until I started doing it. And wow, I feel good doing this. And I can have them both. So let us step out that fear. But you know what, my lovely, lovely king, it's time for a break. So we are going to get ready to go into this break. And when we come back,
we got somebody special.
We have a lovely, lovely, lovely guest.
Powerful woman.
Waiting to chime in on her expertise and let Nyghtstorm Nation know about womanhood.
And how to build an empire as a woman.
Exactly.
Well, Nyghtstorm Nation, you are listening to Nyghtstorm Radio right here on Love 860 AM, Atlanta's inspirational talk radio station. See you on the other side of the break.
You ever been so depressed to where you want to hurt yourself because life has been unkind, unfair, and unforgivable? Folks done hurt you and thrown you away. Yeah, I know. Because I was there too. Until I read this book by NYGHTSTORM called All Action No Talk. This dude has been there, man. He understands us. He was homeless, abused as a child, abandoned by his dad, and even his oldest son passed away. I'm encouraged because if this dude can make it, so can I, and so can you. So check it out at Nyghtstorm.com, NYGHTSTORM, and know that you have the strength to change your life despite adversity, like him, like me, like you.
Hey, you, guy or gal that's listening, are you enjoying the night storms? Good! If you want the 411 on me, YG Nightstorm,
And me, Toby George Nightstorm, aka Lady Nightstorm, visit Nyghtstorm.com. That's NYGHTSTORM.com. Check out our informative blogs, videos, and see what Nightstorm Nation is doing to benefit the community. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook.
thanks again for listening to the Night Storms on Nyghtstorm Radio every Thursday at 11 a.m. to noon on Love 860 a.m. Atlanta's inspirational station. We are you.
Hi everyone, it's me, Lady Nightstorm, and have I got news for you. Want to know how to keep up with us and what we're doing in the community? It's easy. Just like us on Facebook at Nyghtstorm Radio. Follow us on Twitter at Nyghtstorm Radio and become part of the Nyghtstorm Nation mailing list at Nyghtstorm.com. That's NYGHTSTORM. Keep up with all our promotions, contests, and latest happenings. Nyghtstorm Radio. We are you.
You are now rocking with the Night Storms on Atlanta's inspirational station, Love 860 AM WAEC. Now back to the show.
Welcome back to Nyghtstorm Radio. Our topic today is when your man loves your womanhood and femininity. And if you would like to call in and be a part of the conversation, you can reach out to us now, 404-355-8699 in Atlanta and 866-923-2860 everywhere else. And we also want to, say we promised we would. This show is being brought to you today by Embodiment by Yabi.
Hold on, let me say it. Embodiment by Yabi.
Yes, salon, spa, and boutique.
Yes.
Okay, keep it going.
Okay, all right. Now, Nightstorm Nation, like I said, I love how powerful you are. I love and respect your womanhood and femininity.
Whoa.
I love it. I absolutely love it. When I roll over in the morning and I see you, you are my sunshine. I tell you that.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, I love that femininity of yours. I don't know how you stand to be pretty even when you're snoring. I don't get it. I don't get it. But Nightstorm Nation, it's good that we are experts at this, but it's always refreshing when we can bring in other experts that know how to help our Nightstorm Nation members as well. So, Jared, in this British accent,
It's back.
could you please roll that music so we can introduce our guest properly? Ha 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 ha! Yeah! Nightstorm Nation, our distinguished guest is here. Take it away, my queen. Woo!
With the slogan of encouraging women to connect with their womanhood and femininity on the inside and out, this fashion designer and entrepreneurial sensation is passionate about helping women to connect with their true selves and rise above the confines of what the world thinks a woman should be.
Her philosophy about happiness and validation was a catalyst for her to create the Inspirational Woman Project, a movement aimed at inspiring women and exploring what it means to be a woman. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help us welcome to Nyghtstorm Radio, the Wonder Woman of fashion and enlightenment, Bri Seeley. Yeah!
Welcome to the show, Bri.
Hi, thank you. I think that's the best introduction I've ever had in my life.
Well, you are so welcome. So welcome.
How you doing, Bri?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. Okay, so did you hear our Nyghtstorm letter in the previous segment, ma'am?
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
yeah.
So as a powerful woman yourself, before we get into asking you about questions about you, could you please enlighten this wonderful woman who has been a happy housewife, homemaker, making that
20 years.
20 years, and she has always had a dream of opening up her own boutique. Can you kind of give her some little nuggets on why she should, ma'am?
Well, I mean, she should because she wants to. I agree with something that you said earlier about how, when she's spewing venom at other people. Mm-hmm. I think that if you want to do something, if you really have it in your heart to do something, you should do it. And it's, going to take some time probably to get rid of the old voices of the mom and the grandma. And but if you can overcome those things, you guys have said earlier, she's already been a super successful mom and a super successful wife. Like, why can't she be a super successful business owner as well?
Amen to that. Okay, now I want to ask you this because you have, you are no stranger to people trying to talk about you and put you down simply because of your views. And we perused your website because we do our fair amount of research on people coming to our show. And I want to say fantastic website for one, okay? And for two, I had the privilege of seeing an episode of the Today Show that you were on. And they were talking about women who have decided not to have kids, okay? And you got so berated and people talked about you, but other folks are saying that you are brave to stand up for what you believe. So how liberating is it to live a life of true self-empowerment, and how does your example, ma'am, affect other women to realize their own power?
So how that came about was that I wrote a blog for the Huffington Post, and that went viral, and then the Today Show called me to do a segment. And it's been really interesting. I mean, there has definitely been a whole lot of backlash. I've gotten comments like, you're going to die alone, and, what kind of woman doesn't want to have children? And, I've gotten a lot of backlash. But for me, I think part of the reason I wrote it and, the really powerful thing that has happened since I've written it is all the women that have reached out to me and said, we are exactly where you were. Mm-hmm. Like, I just had a girl message me, in fact, this morning on Facebook, and she said, I really want to have the procedure and no one will do it. I was so moved by your story, and I felt so much hope, for my life and for my choices after reading your story, and I'm really going to take matters into my own hands and empower myself and do what I need to do to be happy in life.
Right. And that's definitely, I know for a fact, if here in Georgia, that if you don't already have children or if you only have one child, it's very hard to get a physician to do a tubal ligation, which is the procedure that we're talking about. And in your case, you hadn't had any children and decided that you wanted to have a tubal ligation because you had no interest in ever having children. And I know, firsthand that is definitely a challenge to find someone who will tell you yes when you don't have any kids, because it is the same thing of, well, you might change your mind later.
Or you need the husband's permission.
Your husband. Well, the husband permission came in after I had the kid. But the thing about it is you are met with walls if you decide to go that route, because they feel like you're going to get older, you might get married, the person you're with might decide to want children, and it's harder to reverse this, procedure once it's done, and you probably want to think about it for a while. So, I have been involved in, on that side, because after I had my first one, I was like, oh, you can tie this up now. I'm done with this one. And I had to go through natural childbirth, too, and push out. Oh, that was a done deal. I didn't want to ever walk down that no more, but I was met with the same opposition of, well, you only have one. You might want 2 or 3 later. We can't do this right now. Maybe if you have another one, if you still feel like that, then we'll do it. So I had to get
for me,
pregnant
it was 6 years of every year at my annual exam with my doctor, I would say, I want this done for 6 years. And she would be like, you will never find a doctor to do it. Yeah. It will never happen.
Well,
So after the 6th year, I kind of just took things into my own hands, did my own research, found a doctor, made my own appointment, and, kind of went in on my own, armed with 6 years worth of journals and, and just kind of went in and stated my case. I mean, I was lucky in that, she's a little bit more liberal and supported my decision. But, yeah, I mean, I know women that are much older than me that still can't have it done.
Well, something, this is a free country. That is what we say,
yeah.
And a person has the right to do whatever they feel the need to do concerning their own body.
That's right.
And what you're doing is not affecting anyone else. And, as a man with 7 children, and I love my kids, but I will also say my 7 children get on my nerves sometimes. Okay. but if you choose to say that I don't want to have children, you got just as much right as somebody like me who says I want a tribe of kids.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then the people that are saying, that about you, or you're selfish, this and that, none of them are going to buy diapers.
No, they ain't going to help
milk,
to support
clothes,
kids.
Feed
they ain't
this
gonna pay
kid
for college
and run around. They're not going to do any of this. But I guess, misery love company.
Okay,
all right. Now, you're a successful businesswoman. And I'm not saying that our children make us miserable because they are great kids.
They're cool, but they get on my nerves sometimes.
I understand that.
Yes, they do.
But you're a successful businesswoman, and you've been making a huge splash in the fashion industry for years. So why the shift to spearheading a woman's movement as opposed to just falling in line and complying with society expects of you?
Well, I've known for a long time. I was always that kid that I never wanted to play by the rules. It's been something that's been ingrained in me for a very long time. So
wait a minute, Bri, were you always the kid sitting in the corner?
I wasn't necessarily in the corner, but I was the one when I was in middle school, we were told we weren't allowed to wear headscarves because it was a gang symbol. But I would wear them to school. I would wear pink flowered gingham headscarves to school, over my hair. And my vice principal pulled me out of class one day and was like, "You can't wear that." And I was like, "Why not?" And he said, "Well, it's a gang symbol." And I was like, "Really? Because when did strawberry shortcake join a gang?" I was always that girl that was pushing the envelope and being like, "Well, that's your rule, but I'm going to twist it so that I can get around it a little
Bri,
bit."
you didn't understand how dangerous strawberry shortcake was, man.
Right? And and lemon tart and all them, man.
Man, they were pushing calories and sugar.
Carbs, man.
And carbs. Go ahead, Bri.
So when I started my fashion line, I've known forever that I didn't start a fashion line to do a fashion line like everyone else in the world has done fashion line. I knew that when I started my fashion line, it was going to be different. And while I love fashion, and I've done fashion for over 20 years, I knew that it was always about much more than just the clothes we put on our body. So I'm also I studied psychology in college as well, in addition to fashion. So I realized last year that people weren't really connecting with my clothes because my clothes are all about embracing what it means to be a woman and dressing, super feminine. A lot of it's really vintage inspired. Mm-hmm. And I had a lot of women tell me they didn't know how to wear it. They didn't know how to dress like women. Mm-hmm. And I was like, so I realized that I was going to have to help women have this mindset shift and understand what that meant to them before they would dress like it.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because I like what you just said right here. And so you created a fashion brand, okay, and I've seen the stuff. It's actually fantastic, but they weren't impressed because they didn't really understand the concept about dressing as a woman. So you went and you started the Inspirational Woman Project movement, and it kind of coincides with your brand. So how did you use that to get in women's heads and say, look here, you can dress this way and still be this way? How did you do that?
It's been a little bit of a process. So I had the idea to start it, and I started it just as a blog series. Mm-hmm. So I did a 30-day blog series. And in the midst of all that, I had some life-changing events happen and ended up deciding that I was going to take the blog series and make it into a coffee table book. So actually, as a little side note, I have 500 copies of the coffee table book arriving in 2 hours.
Get ready,
really
Nyghtstorm Nation. She's selling them.
Yep. So yeah, I did a coffee table book. I did 99 interviews with women over a course of 8 weeks. and launched the book on Kickstarter and raised more than enough money to do my first round of publishing. And since then, I'm in the process of developing, I'm going to do a tour, a 10-city tour with the book. And I'm in the process of developing some workshops and some other things to really help women like get in that mindset of what does it mean to me to be a woman. So the other thing that the person that wrote into your show, the other thing that kind of struck me about her thing was that, she was saying, I wish all these other women wouldn't put their views of what being a woman means onto me. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of her letter, she said she tried to put her views of what being a woman meant to her on all the other women. Mm-hmm. And what I think is each of us have our own definition of what that means. Mm-hmm. For me, it means not having kids, and it means changing the world, and it means, being an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. And for her, it means being a stay-at-home mom, which is great. We need stay-at-home moms, but we also need entrepreneurs and all these other things. So for me, I just want women to kind of like figure out what that means for themselves. And I don't think there's a right or wrong answer for that, but I think that women aren't asking that question of themselves.
Well, I think I would be offended if somebody told me, YG, if you want to have a good life, just go home, sit down, and shut up. I would be offended by that. I'm just sorry. It doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man. If somebody, and like I said, we appreciate the letter because I understand where it's coming from, okay? Mm-hmm. Because she was raised under a certain way of thinking. Mm-hmm. But if you tell somebody, what you need to do is just find you somebody and go sit down and shut up and maybe your life will be better. Well, honestly, you're going to throw up some walls and nobody's going to listen to you.
You catch more flies
with honey than you do with vinegar.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So how does your fashion brand tie in with the Inspirational Women Project?
They're both all about just really being a woman. So I see the Inspirational Woman Project as, kind of getting into women's heads mm-hmm. and like asking some questions that aren't necessarily asked or talked about in our culture. And then I see the fashion brand as more of like an outward manifestation of that. So, kind of communicating to the world in more of a nonverbal sense.
So how are you dressing very femininely without getting too slutty? Is there a trick? I'm just, I want to know.
I believe that there is something really like, I'm more along the line. I like to make my women kind of sexy but conservative at the same time. So right. What I do is I do a lot of I play with a lot of sheer versus opaque. So mm-hmm. a lot of my like maxi skirts will be sheer, but they'll have an opaque lining, but the lining only goes down like, mid-thigh level. Mm-hmm. So you can still see the legs through the skirt.
I think I got to dress like that.
Yeah, I actually saw some of the stuff, and the sheer, it was flowing, and it made the women look very elegant. And all I thought about while I was looking at all these beautiful women walk up and down is, my queen will look so good in that. That's all I thought about, baby. Honest.
Sell the idea, YG. Sell the idea. You see how he does that right before a break, Bri. All right, we're getting ready to go on another break, and we're having so much fun talking to Bri. Mm-hmm. And we have more questions for you that we're going to tackle on the other side. So Nyghtstorm Nation, feel free to call in. Mm-hmm. You have the number 404-355-8699 or 866-923-2860, and have your questions ready on the other side of the break. We'll be right back.
Toby George Nyghtstorm, a.k.a. Lady Nyghtstorm, and I'm known as the woman not afraid to tell the truth about how things really are. And the truth I have to say to you is you should listen to Nyghtstorm Radio every Thursday from 11 to noon. And you should also like us on Facebook at Nyghtstorm Radio. Follow us on Twitter at Nyghtstorm Radio. And join the Nyghtstorm Nation mailing list on Nyghtstorm.com. That's NYGHTSTORM.com. Nyghtstorm Radio on Love 860 AM WAEC, Atlanta's inspirational talk radio station. We are you.
To all event planners, are you worried that your next corporate get-together is going to be boring?
Then invite the Nyghtstorms to speak at your next event and electrify your organization as we break down how to grow your business, fix broken relationships, and conquer life challenges.
So make your next event epic. Invite me and the Queen to rock the house with inspirational techniques designed to empower individuals and maximize their true potential.
And thanks for listening to Nyghtstorm Radio on Love 860 AM WAEC, Atlanta's inspirational station.
We are you.
This is YG Nightstorm. And why should you listen to Nyghtstorm Radio? Because we relate to you or someone you know with topics taken directly from our lives. Every time you tune in, you'll hear a discussion about real subjects that affect real life. Why? Because me and the Queen have been there. So join us right here every Thursday morning from 11 to noon on Love 860 AM WAEC, Atlanta's inspirational talk radio station. Nyghtstorm Radio. We are you.
Hello, Nyghtstorm Nation. This is Toby George Nyghtstorm, a.k.a. Lady Nyghtstorm, and I have a question for you. How much are you spending each day on lunch? $6, $7, $10 even? Do you know that for less than what you spend each week on lunch, you can advertise your business or service right here doing the show on Nyghtstorm Radio? Why don't you inbox us on Facebook, send us a message on Twitter, or drop us a line at Nyghtstorm.com. Let us show you how you can get your business or service out in front of the people. Now back to the show.
We are back on Nyghtstorm Radio, and we are talking with the incredible Bri Seeley. And if you want to get in touch with her, you can call in at 1-866-923-2860. Or you could do like most of y'all do, keep emailing us because we got a ton of pop-up letters. And Bri, we got one specifically for you, if you don't mind me reading this. Can I read this to you, ma'am?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right, I done picked through these now. This one is really, really hitting. It says, Dear Bri, I like the fact that you're on with the Nyghtstorms, and I love you, but I have an issue. My mom and sisters all tell me that I'm crazy to want to be a race car driver. They said that it is not a woman's place. Can you help me with some words of wisdom on how I can explain to them that a woman's place is wherever she wants to be?
I guess that's what Danica Patrick said.
Woo!
Okay.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's always so hard because, you know, it's really difficult for me because I was raised by a mother and a grandmother. So I was raised by two really strong women that basically told me I could do whatever I wanted in life. And I never had to go through dealing with how to convince someone that my dreams were valid.
I guess they're looking out for her safety when you're talking about race car driving.
Yeah, but like you said, there's a lot of women in IndyCar right now, and Danica Patrick is one of the bigger ones, bigger names. But there's a lot of women in IndyCar from all over the world that drive these race cars, and they're actually winning races. And hey, look, if you are good enough to get behind the wheel of a race car and you brave enough to go 200 miles an hour on a skateboard, then sister, you go right ahead.
I would say the biggest thing is just to speak from your heart. I mean, if this is really truly what you want, and you know, you may have to just do it on your own without their support, which is really difficult. But I would say for now, just speak from your heart and just let them know that this is something that you love and that you want to try it. And who knows, maybe you get in that car once and you decide you don't ever want to do it again.
Yeah,
but,
that's true.
You know, that shouldn't stop you from trying it.
Okay.
So, I don't know, I'd say just speak from your heart and let them know that this is something that's really important to you and that you'd really appreciate their support.
Good advice. Now, the world can be a scary place for anyone marching to the beat of their own drum. What do you tell yourself in your private moments, Bri, to conquer your own personal doubts and your fears in order to keep fighting for your dreams?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. My life is full of, I have quotes and affirmations all over my bathroom mirror is covered in affirmations, and I have cards all over, my desk in my room, and all over in my office as well about, the Dory quote, "Just keep swimming." And I have a card from my grandparents that says, "Always, always, always remember you are loved." So for me, I try and just surround myself with positive, loving people, and positive, loving messages, just as pop-up reminders. When my alarm goes off in the morning, it says, "Get up and change the world."
There you go.
So I try to just inundate myself with really positive, uplifting quotes and affirmations and words, and because I think it's really important. If you're surrounding yourself with negativity, or if you're surrounding yourself with people that are doubting you, eventually it's going to translate into how you think and believe about yourself as well.
That's right. That's that sort of negative mind control. Once it's been beaten and put into you for years and years and years, it becomes your reality. But if you are waking up to, "Hey, get up and change the world," then you know something, that will become your reality. The more you hear it, the more you believe it. And sometimes you got to force yourself to believe it, regardless of what even your closest loved ones have to say. So I, applaud you on that. And one more thing, ma'am, okay, because you are such an incredibly inspirational woman yourself. But I want to ask you this. What makes a woman inspirational to you, in your opinion?
Inspirational women to me are women that know themselves, know their heart, know what they want in the world, and then they go after it. I mean, like we said earlier, if that's being a stay-at-home mom, if that's, so my book has these 99 interviews, and I went out of my way to find 99 women that were uniquely distinct, because my goal was for every single woman that opens up this book, no matter where she is in life, what her age is, what her ethnicity, her background, whatever, I want them to be able to connect with someone. So, I found inspirational women ranging from stay-at-home moms to district attorneys to stylists to, my grandmother's in the book. She was a teacher for many years, went through the Depression. I have a Holocaust survivor in the book. I think every woman can be inspirational. I really, truly do. But it's whether or not she recognizes that within herself. And I think that's the first step. And that's one of the things that I really want to do with the book, with the movement, with the workshops, all that stuff. I think if women can start identifying that within themselves, it just radiates out from there.
Very good.
Absolutely. Now, Bri, how can people get in touch with you? How can they find out more about you, your movement, and what you got going with these coffee table books?
What's the name of the book?
About to arrive.
The book is called The Inspirational Woman Project. Pretty easy.
One more time. Say it again.
The Inspirational Woman Project.
There you go.
All
yeah.
right.
So my website is my name. It's BriSeeley.com. That's BriSeeley.com. And it has has links to my Huffington Post, to my blog, to my book, to my fashions, to, kind of everything in one spot.
Well, something. I mean, we have been talking about some serious stuff that has impacted, millions of people around this country about, self-doubt. And then when they see other people actively going after their dreams, sometimes because of the self-doubt, sometimes because of what has been put in them since they were children, they see these folks who are living a liberated life as a threat. But I want to tell you guys this. If you want to go after something, if you want to do it, liberate yourself through your mind, through your heart, through your spirit, through your body, through your finances, through your marriage, through your business. Liberate yourself and go after it, because there's a word out here that can transcend an ocean of adversity and hatred. And that word, sweetheart, is what? Love. And we have gotten to the love shout-out segment of our show, where the Nyghtstorm Nation members get to send their love shout-outs to each other on the line and ask us to read some special letters from them to their special sweetie pies. So what we got up first, baby?
We have Megan, and Megan sends her love to Philip as they celebrate their 29th wedding anniversary.
Congratulations, guys.
Congrats.
29 years.
We're still working on that one.
Yeah, we on year 15.
You got 15 next week, baby.
Okay. Also, Roger sends his love to his wife, Crystal, as they just tied the knot on New Year's Eve.
Woo! Talk about fireworks.
You can't ever forget your anniversary if you got married on New Year's Eve. Good, smart,
right. Bri, is there anyone that you would like to shout out?
I'll shout out my mom, Mama Seeley, and my baby sister who just graduated college. I'm super proud of her. And my best friend, Maggie.
All right. Well, mom, sis, and friends, I'm down with it. All right.
I like that, too, because they also help to inspire her to become the incredibly powerful woman that she is today. So thank you, ladies. We appreciate you.
I would not be nearly the woman I am or where I am in life without many, many, many other women that have come before me.
Definitely. I feel you. And I would like to shout out, I know we're on the woman thing, but hey, I got this big, beautiful king sitting next to me, even though he cheats on his diet. I still love him so much. And I appreciate the fact that he chose the least of the evils at Waffle House. Baby! I had to wrap it up with that. But I love you, and I appreciate you, and I thank you for everything you do. Thank you for being the roof of our house that holds the family together.
Well, baby, you make it easy to support you when you give me all the love that a man can ever hope, pray for, and desire. And you also the queen of my house, the queen of my life, the queen of our businesses, and the queen of our children. And you are an exceptionally powerful woman. And I love your womanhood, and I love your femininity, and I appreciate you. So you go ahead, boss chick. I love you, baby.
All right. And on that note, we want to thank you, Bri, for being at our show today. And also, Nightstorm Nation, you know that you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Nyghtstorm Radio and Nyghtstorm.com. And yes, YG?
I got one more thing, and another special love shout out to Embodiment by Yabi, who is sponsoring this show today. A wonderful, wonderful hair salon, boutique,
and spa.
And
they are hiring.
So if you are gifted on making people beautiful and you want to actually be compensated for making people look good enough to go and impact this world and change their lives, then please go to embodimentbyyabi.com and get yourself a great opportunity to start your career and make people beautiful so they can go change this world. Thank you, Embodiment by Yabi. And one more last thing, because we got a little bit of time left while the love music is still playing, Jared. I want to say thank you to you, sir, and you and your beautiful fiance.
Oh, Jared.
Because Jared empowers his woman. And get on that microphone right quick, because I want you to say something to Bri. You on, Jared?
Yeah, you got it.
How did you enjoy this interview with the incredible Bri Seeley, sir?
Well, it was very informative for me because my lady is one of those girls who is kind of like afraid of her womanhood.
Mm-hmm.
And I want her to be able to be that strong woman and know that she can go out there and just be herself and not be ashamed, not be afraid, not be scared, not be shy. And I have to always push her.
Mm-hmm.
But I love her for who she is.
There you go.
Totally.
And she is always my rock, whether she thinks she's strong enough to be it or not.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. See, Bri, you see the type of response you are getting, ma'am. Okay, Jared, you can roll the rest of the music now, because we always end the show with the Nyghtstorm Nation pledge. And it starts off by saying, stepping out of darkness and into the light, we are here together in the combined power of individuals who dare to be above the status quo to initiate change.
Regardless of our inadequacies or the mistakes that lie in our past, we make the difference of success over failure within our families, our businesses, and our communities.
We come together as one body, one soul, and one mind, spreading the fruitfulness of truth and empathy to those that need it most.
May we all be blessed in our journey as we scatter across the globe, bringing the healing power of love until we see each other again.
I love me, I love you, and we will change the world.
We are Nyghtstorm Nation,
and we are you. Have a fantastic week. Thank you, Bri. God bless you, girl.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.